Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Heartful of Hallmark podcast. We have the joy and honor of being joined by Mr. Jason Bourque. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Good. It's been, it's always great. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you.
And I got her back. She's back. I got Kirsten. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. I've had people message me with Barbara and Nicole. Where is she? She hasn't left yet. No, but she's here. I wanted to have her here, and I wasn't going to do it without her.
Oh, that's awesome.
We have a total of 3 films to talk about. This man's super busy. I mean, he's busy. He stays busy.
I got to keep at it. I mean, that's the main thing. It's, and in between. And we'll talk about it, but I do have an awesome sci-fi horror that I'm currently producing, and we're a few weeks in. With Daphne Keane from, I don't know if you guys are into Accolade or the Wolverine and Deadpool movies.
Yeah.
So I'm currently producing that one, and it's coming along awesome.
Good old X-23.
Such a crazy contrast from all this Christmas.
Yeah.
But so they've all been back to back. I've been lucky enough to do these 3 Christmas movies. Each one has such a completely different story to it. A little bit of a different tone, very much a different style. Starting off with Scouting for Christmas, which is now just getting the trailers now out. We just got hit with the poster. Tamara Mowry, Housley, Carlo Marx. Just wonderful cast and extremely funny. That's the thing about this one. It has a huge heart, but it's laugh out loud funny, and that's something I'm a pretty goofy guy, so it was right up my alley.
Yeah,
it was right up my alley. This one. Yeah, she
plays
so mom.
That.
Yeah, single mom. She's has her real estate. She's trying to balance love and life while dealing with her stepdaughter. And it's it's really proud of what came out of it. Have you guys, do you follow Tamara's work at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a huge following. I looked her up on Instagram. It's like 12 million followers. And
12 million.
Her sister's always busy. I think she's got nominated for an Emmy or something back when she was a daytime host, and she has so much going on. But a huge heart, probably the most spiritual lead I've had, as far as just waves of goodness, kind of like Barbara Niven. You work with some and you realize that they walk, some walk the talk, the whole thing. But I mean, she's just truly, truly spiritual and giving. And we had a fantastic time on Scouting for Christmas. I can't wait for you guys to see that one.
Yeah.
We grew up with her on Sister.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm so excited to see her tap into more of that humor, because she used to do that on Sister. So it'll be cool to see her transition into that now with Hallmark.
Yeah, I gave her a lot of leeway. We had a lot of talks about it. My directing style is quite, I don't want to say gentle. It's quite my style is very much like a partner in crime style, where I really like working with my leads and taking their suggestions. And we had a lot of trust. So she definitely played it in this one very much like a 80s Meg Ryan. She just really kind of went for it.
That's awesome.
And and also even some physical comedy. She's just so good at that. But you're right. I mean, she can tap into it as a child actor. And she also was telling me as well, every actor has their own style, and maybe because of being a child actor, she took me aside right off the top and said, "Hey, listen, I'm probably going to nail this, the first take or the second take," and she totally was bang on. Yep. Her instincts are that good.
Yeah.
Anyway, can't wait for you guys to see it. All 3 of them, by the way, we had to shoot in June, July, and August. So much fake snow and styrofoam snowmen and tons of visual effects to pull these 3 off. Scouting for Christmas is probably the easiest, I find. But I did have a different style than what I'm used to, because she has this arch nemesis in this one who's she kind of runs the Girl Scouts, kind of like the military. And the way we shot it was almost like I don't know. I'm a fan of this French filmmaker that did a movie called Amélie. I don't know if you guys ever saw it.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful rom-com. But yeah, almost like a Wes Anderson type style to it. So we were able to just really focus on, like I said, each movie has a very distinct style, and this one I think is a standout. So like I said, I can't wait for you guys to see it.
What's your favorite scene from this film specifically?
Oh boy. You know, she has a lot of great scenes, probably the introduction of her character, and she's wrestling with balloons because she's like she's like a real estate agent, and she has to get all her stuff and get to the school, pick up her kid, and get her in time for this Girl Scout meeting where they're going to make a big announcement. And that mad rush is such a wonderful way of meeting the character, and she literally has to take all these balloons and stuff them in her trunk while she's on the phone. And the physical comedy of that is pretty awesome. And it was something that evolved again, because it's all about trust. It wasn't in the original script. And it was just something that we, again, discussing the physical comedy and how she wanted to be introduced. That worked out fantastic. And of course, they do show up late, and everything is structured because we have this military nemesis who kind of runs the Girl Scouts, and she's completely the opposite, yet she wants to fit in. And she wants her stepdaughter to fit in. And I think it's just a wonderful introduction to the character. It's funny, each one has a very distinct opening. I know I don't want to jump straight to the next one, but the opening of A Reason for the Season with Taylor Cole and Kevin McGarry is probably the most dramatic opening I've ever had in a Hallmark movie. Oh. And yeah, it's like it's this young woman. She's pregnant. She's in a car. She's driving alone because she's like been selling her various products, and she goes into labor while she's driving, and there's a risk of losing the baby. And she comes across this small town, and she comes across this diner with these four or five people are in the diner celebrating Christmas. So it's Christmas Eve. It's like nativity scene. And she literally gives birth in the diner. And they save her life and the baby's life. And we had the snow machines. We had this beautiful diner that we actually got. The diner itself was from a CW show, Riverdale. Have you guys ever seen it? We used we used that diner because we had so much shooting to do at it. But again, very dramatic, and it had a lot of challenges because the whole concept of it, by the way, is that she ends up giving birth to this beautiful baby girl 35 years later. She has a very spoiled brat. She now has a billionaire type company going on that's like beauty products. And she sends her daughter back to the small town to find the people that saved her life. And it's a wonderful arc for Taylor Cole. And it's again, very funny, but just lots of challenges having flashbacks from 10 years ago. Or not 35. Yeah, that was like flashbacks from 35 years ago. So we had to cast actors that matched. And again, we had a real like baby that we had to bring in, that like a very like a preemie baby. Like I didn't know nothing about babies. I'm all about dogs. But it was like a special effect. Like we had to keep everything super quiet. We could only hold the baby for like an hour. It was all very complicated, but we did the birth in a diner. So it's a crazy way to open a Hallmark.
I don't think that's ever been done for Hallmark before.
I don't think so. I don't think so. It had, what I liked about it, it had a lot of stakes. And again, it was just very different from Scouting for Christmas. That is very much, about Tamara, kind of like her character finding her footing. And so again, like just very completely different, which was fantastic. I thoroughly loved the challenges of both those movies. And I think I should check the date. I think that one comes out, that's November 14th. So Scouting for Christmas is October 20th. And A Reason for the Season's coming out because of the drama. You know, sometimes you guys must be aware of this. Sometimes it comes out on Movies and Mysteries.
Yeah.
So so Scouting for Christmas is Hallmark, and then Movies and Mysteries it will be playing A Reason for the Season.
Yep.
Yeah. And again, I'm lucky enough each time, like wonderful chemistry. But are you familiar with Kevin McGarry?
Yeah. I just had on a big McGarry fan at the last podcast.
Nice.
And she's so excited. She loves Kevin. I mean, he is truly one of her favorite star.
Yeah,
her favorite star, hands down.
favorite.
Hands down. What was he like in person?
It's funny. Like he's Carlo, by the way, Marks. He's more contemplative. He did some wonderful stuff with Tamara. But not to say he sticks to his own. Each one has their own process. Kevin is he's like a young Kurt Russell. I think is the best way to describe him. Incredibly charismatic, and he's a ham. He's just when the camera stops, he's always cracking jokes, always putting people at ease. It's just in his nature to be like that. I mean, it's funny. He knows he's good looking, and he treats it like a joke. The guy, come on, like that jaw, like that guy, he should be in a superhero movie. He's that's why I mentioned Kurt Russell, because I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan from because I grew up on all those movies like Big Trouble in Little China and The Thing and all those action movies with Kurt Russell. But yeah, Kevin, and so him and Kevin and Taylor immediately hit it off. Tons of chemistry. And again, what I liked about it, and this is the way I like to direct, is that I give them a lot of room to do ad libs on heads and tails of scenes and make suggestions. And for me, that's where the magic happens. Sometimes we go off the script, and Kevin and Taylor were both very good at that. Much like how Tamara was amazing at it. So again, it was completely different story. That was more sets that we had, backlot sets, which was pretty cool. And a ton of visual effects and snow to pull that off. It started to heat up. Each one, the weather was getting warmer and warmer and warmer until I did my third movie. And it was in Canada, it was 30 degrees Celsius. We had to shoot on a train that was that became literally like a hot oven on this train with Nikki DeLoach and Warren Christie. And it was a heat wave by the time I got to my third Christmas movie.
Was it easier on that train than the bus on Miss Christmas?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, Miss Christmas, that's a good one. We had more space to work. That one on Miss Christmas was crazy. If you look closely at Miss Christmas, only somebody caught it on IMDb, because you know how you can when little goofs. And you can actually tell that the bus had the sides open. You know how you can expand the sides? You can never drive on the highway like that. You had to expand the sides because I had to get the camera someplace. So that was the cheat that we did when we did Miss Christmas Comes to Town. The train was a train. It's an old steam train that's in Kelowna. And this Kettle Creek steam train. So it's a little Polar Express-ish. And that one, by the way, again, very complicated because we had two parallel timelines. It's called our holiday story, and again, starring Nikki DeLoach, which was an awesome team up again after I did a world record Christmas with her. First time I worked with Warren Christie, who's fantastic. I've known him forever. But yeah, the plot has them telling a story to this new boyfriend. Well, the girlfriend's trapped on this Christmas train, and she's going to miss the big party that night. So it's like the couple telling the boyfriend how they met, kind of like how I met my mother. Is that that TV series?
How I Met Your Mother? Yeah.
Kind of like that. So we actually had to have a parallel plot that was 10 years different, and it's hard. 10 years, people don't change that much in 10 years. Yeah, so that was we did our best. We added a little bit of white, a little bit of gray to Warren Christie. A little, all the different hairstyles. They also had a teenage daughter that we had to like, she's 16 and then she's 26. So and a lot of those elements of how do we tell these two stories happening in the same locations with 10 years difference. Very Christopher Nolan. I'm like the Christopher Nolan Hallmark.
Oppenheimer, Hallmark.
Yeah, with all these parallel timelines and crazy.
But with Nikki, I feel like she's so good at playing such diverse roles and like anything like dramatic. Like she pulls at your heartstrings with all of her movies. She's just so good at it.
She's fantastic. She can. She's like a certified genius. Like she has so much going on, and she has such a big heart. And she's on a few boards at like various hospitals, and she's always doing charity events and. Much like Barbara Niven, like a lot of them, I find just even, Tamara does the same. They all like to give, and they all like to give back, I guess is what I'm saying. And Nikki DeLoach definitely is one of those people. For me, knowing also how she works is good. So her style, because she also thinks like a writer, and she thinks like even though she might not be executive producing or producing the show, she's just very aware of how can we tailor these scripts as much as we can, even while we're shooting. Is there any way that we can always elevate? So Nikki is always pushing. She's always looking under every rock. What can we do to make this as awesome as possible for the audience? And she doesn't shut that off. That's consistent with her. Every day is like, what can we do to make this better? So it drives the executive producer up the wall a little bit. She's always wanting to like, and me and she's like a partner in crime. Like me and Nikki, we kind of team up. So it's like going to the exec and, hey, how about if we combine this scene and this, this, and then it'd be better if we did this. And it's which is a creative roller coaster. I love it. Nikki loves it. The executive producer might be like,
grits their teeth a little bit.
What's that?
I saw this one sketch. Oh my God. That same exact thing happened. And they walk in and it just says executive producer on the door.
Yeah.
And they walk in, he goes, what do you want this time? What do you want? And I'm like, why is that? Bring that to mind. You said that story. I'm like, I have a feeling that executive producer wanted to take you both and go, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want, I give up.
It worked. It's all part of the process. And again, some go smooth, some have some bumps. These ones all have their own, they all take on their own life. It was funny. Like the opening of that original, like a reason for the season kind of reminded me a little bit of Miss Christmas Comes to Town. And there's a scene in Miss Christmas Comes to Town with Erica Durance and Barbara Niven, and they're both on a bench as it kind of lays out a lot of the exposition and where it's going to go. We had something similar that was going to start a reason for the season, but after discussing it with the execs, I talked them into doing a TED Talk. So it took them off a bench. Suddenly it became like a big conference center. This little intimate story is now being told to an audience of 1,000 people. Like but I knew it would be original, and it would be a wonderful way of doing something that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
So once we have the birth in the diner, because we have voiceover and it's telling the story, we realize that she's actually telling the story at a TED Talk. And she's done this incredible thing of building this $1 billion empire. And then she calls her daughter up on stage. But it was, it's nice that I can work with people that are open to different ideas. And again, how do we elevate it? How do we just take it up a few notches and make it stand out? And I think all three in their own right will totally stand out. So I'm very, very proud of that.
Yeah.
With these three films, Hallmark has been doing cameos. If you can't spoil anything, are there any cameos in any of the films like you had with the Tyler Hines and with the past of the mysteries? We've had a couple different cameos. Are there any cameos from Hallmark stars?
Being straight up, we actually don't. I don't mind saying that. I'd love to like, throw out a hook, but with these ones, we didn't. Each one was with a different production company.
Okay.
Because I kind of make the rounds. And yeah, we didn't have any. I mean, you'll see some familiar faces because we shoot all of these in Vancouver and some up in Kelowna. So you'll definitely see some familiar faces from other shows. But no one at that level of like the multiverse thing where you bring in and Andrew Walker shows up like serving coffee or something, and people are, it's Andrew Walker. Nothing like that. Which, by the way, I'd love to work with Andrew Walker again. That guy's like same thing, just a big part, and he's always looking at how do we make it even better, which I love about that. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of that happens on the day though, and our scripty, our script supervisor has to track all the changes because we throw a lot of curveballs out as we find something that's funny, and then it gets funnier, and how do we keep it going with these crazy schedules, because we shoot all of these in 15 days. 3 weeks prep, then you do like the 3-week shoot is the model. So it's been kind of chaotic. So anyway, I can't wait to hear what you guys think of Scouting for Christmas. That's coming up soon.
We're very excited to see it.
We were just talking right before you came on. We're like, this is gonna be fun. We love Tamara. So I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not.
Go for it.
But since I know Max, okay, on Thursday, me and Kirsten have an interview with Max, Cindy Busby, and Carly.
No way.
Is there anything that you would like to say to them or ask them from you personally?
Oh, I can't think of anything. Nothing off. No, I don't think anything offhand, other than the fact I can't wait to team up with Cindy again. She's like, there's different styles of comedy, and I might have said this previously. Just with Cindy, like she genuinely just wants to make people laugh. I find, even more so than I mentioned, because they're all insanely talented. But she's full on comedian when she wants to cut loose. Like full on.
You can definitely see that in her movies.
You know what I mean? Like with the Jim Carrey facial expression.
No one does it like her.
I know. She's so good at it.
I feel like her and Ashley Williams both like always show their like full out expressions on their face, and I love it.
It's funny. The style of Hallmark has evolved. Because I find that when I started, it was like you had comedy, but it was kind of like a giggle. Now you can actually watch these and have a full out like belly laugh, and I find even my own style of comedy is to go a little bigger with it. Maybe I had Cindy cut loose a little too much when I worked with her, because she was like, it was Cindy Busby Unleashed, and I just loved every second of it. You'll see a little bit of that with Tamara. Like she has moments of knowing that she's messing things up with this one guy that she's in love with, and she messes up on an opportunity to kiss him, and she just breaks loose as soon as the door slams shut and he's gone. She does this crazy funny just dance of just complete frustration, and it's just so good. But again, that's a physical comedy that comes out of Tamara. So, I'm happy with doing the comedy. And even it might sound a little heavy, A Reason for the Season. Taylor Cole plays it very much like, almost like Alicia, what's her name from Clueless?
Alicia Silverstone. Silverstone.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on, a little bit of that Reese Witherspoon. I'm terrible with names.
Alabama.
Oh, the blonde. What was the blonde one that she did?
Legally Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Yeah. So
Bend and Snap.
Yeah.
Taylor Cole was playing kind of like a combination of those two characters.
Okay.
And it's being like the rich brat who's 35, which is so hilarious, and never grown up, but has a big heart. And her arc is just wonderfully laid out.
Mhm.
So so it kind of plays within that type of genre, even though, as I said, the opening has some drama to it with this this nativity birth on Christmas Eve, in this diner, and while it's snowing. So it's it's pretty awesome. I was quite happy with it. Yeah. Each one, by the way, is also, for me, as a technical director, each one also has it's with different cinematographers. And I've worked with all three cinematographers, but that's the other thing as well. Each one, I think, has a very distinct look. And that's something that I as a director, I know I want to stand out. And I do go heavier on visual metaphors and shot design. And I have to, because I do want these to stand out and feel special. So I put my heart and soul in these. So each one, like I said, has a very distinct style to it. So it's great that you guys will be able to see, these three movies that I was lucky enough that each one is a wonderful script. It always starts with the script. But again, very, very different styles. All three are very, very different.
And I feel like us as fans too, like we appreciate when we see like unique movies, because there are so many that happen over the Christmas like season. Like we want to see something out of the box and like extraordinary. Like, so it'll be exciting to see like how
that's my
they're all
goal.
different. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's it's how to make them extraordinary. Truly, within this crazy sandbox that seems like quite fast. But luckily I've been able to surround myself with wonderful teams of creatives that help support my vision that I bring to it. So it's been awesome. So I finished the last one. Crazy quick schedule on the one with Nikki DeLoach. It's still in post, which is amazing, because it's coming out soon. And then I jumped on to Night Comes, which is Jay Hernandez. He's from Suicide Squad and Magnum PI, if you ever see the Magnum PI show. So he's an awesome actor. This is his first feature, with Daphne Keane and Samantha, who's a new Dora the Explorer. And it's full on apocalypse. Two sisters that live in a box that's like chained to the floor because these creatures have wiped out humanity. And it's lots of special effects, lots of visual effects. What a complete change for me to jump straight onto that. And we got so many days to shoot. It's like 26 days compared to my 20, my usual 15 days.
Yeah, you're probably like, there's like some room to breathe now.
Probably. I would love to have that many days to shoot. So anyway, it's all good. I have no idea what next year. I never know. Like, to be honest, as a director, I do these projects. I sink my heart and soul into it, and then I just like hope that another one pops up. So I've been, knock on wood, I've been lucky so far. So now I want to keep at these Hallmarks for as long as I can.
And the Apocalypse film airs on Hallmark Channel April 2025. On Hallmark Mystery.
It's very YA, but it's it has some exploding heads and stuff. I don't think they'll ever play it.
Well, I mean, we could get it on the Plus, maybe. I mean, Hallmark Plus.
The streaming.
Hallmark After Dark.
Yeah.
Hallmark Orders.
So, is there any questions that you would like to ask him about any three films, Kirsten? Any of the three films?
Let me think. With Kevin, I feel like he's done a lot more of like the fun, lighthearted movies. Was it like, did you have to like push him at all a little bit more to get into the role?
It was. Now he did one where he played a hockey coach. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So this one, he's still a hockey coach in the small town.
Okay.
But it's a very quirky small town, and it's hugely ensemble. So I think it was a breeze for him. Like, honestly, nothing seems like a challenge for that guy. Because he's just naturally charismatic, and he naturally had the chemistry. But he's actually a lawyer, so that's the funny thing. So he's this lawyer who's kind of taken over this hockey team as just part of his background. But he doesn't have a law office. It's literally at the rink. So when she shows up, this billionaire daughter, and she finds him thinking that what kind of lawyer is this guy? Like she meets him while he's coaching, and then literally they're in the cafeteria and he's like, "This is my office," with his name tag thing that he just like throws on the table. But yeah, it's funny, like with him, he's so incredibly comfortable with what he does. It truly seems like a breeze for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find usually the challenges are mostly with the female leads because they have such sometimes quite complex arcs to their characters.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the guys got it easy.
Well, he's Kevin McGarry. I mean, he doesn't have a whole ton to worry about. I mean, a gorgeous wife who's also super talented.
Yeah, I did her first couple movies, Kayla Wallace.
Yep.
Yeah, if you ever want to check one out, it was on Netflix for a while. A Counterfeiting in Suburbia.
Okay.
She played a teenager, her and her best friend, and they find a way in the art department to counterfeit money. It was I followed it up with Hot Wired in Suburbia. So I was doing all these movies about teenage girls getting in trouble, counterfeiting money, stealing cars. It's like it was a thing back when I was doing Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And I did another movie with her that was a Christmas movie. Snowed In for Christmas.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, with Michaela Wallace. Yeah. Yeah, she's fantastic. They're such an amazing couple, those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she got on doing she's doing a big series right now with the guy that created Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah. And then Kevin, I think, is just going to be keeping busy. Don't they have another season coming up?
Yeah, they got another season already.
Wow.
Yep. They're shooting that. And on the competitor, we have When Hope Calls season 2 with both Cindy and Christopher Russell in it. So
it's crazy.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, 2 shows in the same universe.
Yeah.
Same world, same characters.
How that even happened?
It's like, how does it go on 2 separate networks?
Well, so with the Hallmark Channel, they didn't care for the ratings on season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So when Bill left, he took that with him, and he bought the rights to that show to create a second season for his new network.
Oh,
and that's been in the works for a long time. What I want to know is Cindy and Christopher still going to do Hallmark now that they're doing a Great American Family original series?
Interesting. Good
call.
I don't know.
Everybody is doing a side. They're sticking with one channel and signing all these exclusive deals. So I'm hoping we still get them.
I hope
because we love them.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll just have to see. We do have 2 series coming. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to both of them. I mean, we're on what, season 911 of Calls the Heart? No, 12. No, nobody thought that show was going to go on for 12 seasons. I don't think anybody did.
That's interesting. Yeah, with the Great American Family, I think we might have talked about this. So I have been asked a couple times. It's not something that I've gone that road. Not to say there's 2 different camps for me as a director, but I do love Hallmark. So that's definitely where my heart is doing Hallmark movies. And then doing my own indie stuff again on the side as a writer and as a producer. But those always take years to make. Yeah. Whereas, like this last one with Nikki, like we literally shot it, we did the post edit like in a week. And then it was like, and now it's insanely fast in order to make their date. So it's much different again from when I do my indie features, and I love the fact that, I could do a movie like one of my features, like a Drone or a Blackfly, and maybe I'll have 250 people check it off and say they like it on IMDb. And then I do one of these and it's 2.5 million people. Yeah. Just the Hallmark audience is just so huge and they're so supportive.
Yeah, it's crazy how widespread it really is, and everybody just loves the channel.
Hey, countdown to Christmas. I mean, that's what a juggernaut of television. Just the amount of goodwill and press, and it's just like, wow, that thing's a big train going down the tracks. Dude.
47 new movies this year.
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
Thankfully for Kirsten and I, we only get 46, so we get a little bit of a breather.
Are you guys honestly watching every single one? Be honest.
Yeah.
I kid you not, right? I kid you not. Last year I had another show, and me and my old co-host, we reviewed every single movie, all 42 of them.
Wow.
And I'm doing the same thing on my live show. I'm touching every single 42 of them, and to even we're pretty crazy, right? We're pretty crazy. We text back and forth about all the Hallmark news. So when we get to October 31st, we have the last Groomsman movie on Hallmark Plus.
Oh yeah, Ron Oliver. Yeah,
Yes.
he's awesome. Yeah.
But we also get Finding Mr. Christmas. So we get to figure out who the new Hallmark star is.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting because they're going to be paired with Jessica Lowndes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, she's she also writes her own stuff now too, eh? So she's like producing, she's writing, she's like an Alison Sweeney in that sense, I find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has a brand new album coming out in November.
I just saw that. Yep. Does music, acting, like she's always busy.
She's amazing. She's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't worked with her yet. I'd love to. And I've been blessed to be working with such these amazing female leads. Like they're fantastic. But there's still a few I haven't worked with, and she's one of them.
Which one that you haven't would you want to do next? Would you want to do like a Lacey Chabert, a Hunter King?
Oh, I would say definitely Lacey. I'm more familiar with Lacey's work, and she's just constantly busy, and I know I've heard such amazing things about her. So she's probably at the top of my list as someone that I would love to work with. I'd like to work with Alison Sweeney again. That's been a while. But it's again, like I've been blessed that they're all just such wonderful, genuine people. So that was, anytime I can team back up with them, and it makes it easy too. Like it's one thing when I do my first show with them, but then like the second, like they say with working with Nikki DeLoach again, just makes it so easy. And I understand, like her process and I know that immediately we're partners in crime on how to elevate it. So that feels fantastic because we have that history. So so I can't wait for that to happen. Any of them, and also Cindy as well. Like I said, we had such an awesome ball. Her and Ben were just so much fun to work with.
I will never forget how many people I was sent this one reel that I made this on a whim, and it's the story when all you left the set and he was hanging there.
I love
so much press, and I'm like, why am I getting sent this so much? And when I have to ask her, what was it like walking away? Because I know her face. I know her face. She is going to bust out laughing and be like,
all in good fun, because those guys got along fantastic. But it was so funny. He literally was like 60 feet up,
Oh my gosh,
like Spider-Man stuck on this crazy rope web between two trees. Oh, it was so funny.
And now he has been coined Hallmark Spider-Man.
Yeah, hey, he did all his own stunts.
But two more things. This year, we actually have a new Hallmark queen coming.
Oh, who are you thinking?
I'm actually thinking that face says it all. Her face says it all. We have a Tyler Hines, we have a Lacey and a Hunter, but I think everyone is going to get outshined by Mama Kelsey, by Donna Kelsey. It's going to be it's her. She is going to be a massive name.
She's going to be in 2 movies.
Yeah, 2.
Donna Kelsey. I don't know Donna Kelsey.
She's
she's Jason Kelsey, like from the Eagles, and Travis Kelsey from the Chiefs, their mom, and she's gonna be cameoing in 2 of the movies.
Oh, interesting.
Yep, she's in the one with Tyler and Hunter,
Yeah, and that one's a Chiefs movie, so she's gonna be supporting Travis that one. And then the other one is based in Philadelphia. So in the trailer, you see her in Jason Kelsey's jersey because he played for the Eagles.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
And as massive football fans,
Yep.
I can't tell you how excited we are. We're counting down the days to each of those.
Wow.
But
I know, someone locally out of the Vancouver scene that I think is now jumping into it. I'm a big Rihanna Fish fan. Yeah, so she's awesome. But Stephanie Bennett, like I've done a few thrillers with her and a couple other movies, but now she's getting into the Hallmark circle, the Hallmark family, and you definitely someone to look out for is Stephanie Bennett. Rihanna Fish may have done one of those Great American Family movies as well.
Yeah. Yep. She has one coming out next week, or in 2 weeks. 2 weeks called A Prince in Paradise 2. So she made I don't know if she made that with them. I think they bought that from Reel One again.
I think they bought it. That's what happened with the one that I did with her. We didn't know where it would go.
Yeah.
So that's how those kind of work. Some of those Reel One movies, because we literally don't know where the home is. And those ones are done a little quicker, like literally 12-day shoots.
Oh wow!
Instead of 15.
Oh
yeah.
Give me Hallmark every day, says Jason.
I'm happy with the ones I've done with Reel One, but definitely more challenging. I mean, they get 1 to 2 takes. We got to move fast.
No room for error.
No, you got to move quick, especially to make them good. Rihanna can do it because she's, again, so incredibly funny. And I find all of them are like machines when it comes to memorizing the lines. They all have that ability. So when I work with people that are new at it, they usually have to call out to the script supervisor if they forget a line. But I don't think any of these leads I've had that situation. And again, it's just because they're so incredibly professional at what they do. So again, I've been lucky with that. So interesting. I'll keep my eye out though for Donna.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a national treasure. We love her. We can't wait. I'm hoping it becomes a yearly thing. One football movie, either set in Kansas City or in Philly, or hey, go outside the box and go to my beloved Steelers.
Yeah.
I mean, you could maybe stick on a Justin Fields jersey, maybe Najee Harris, but no.
So with football, do you think Hallmark should do like a football series or like a football like mystery wheel?
Ooh.
You guys watch a lot of these. Would you think the audience would be up on that?
I think they would.
I think that we have the perfect guy to cast in it too. I think the lead detective has to be Christopher Russell. I mean, he would be good. He has the build. He has the look of a football coach, and he has the look of a former player. He's good looking. He has that charisma.
Yep.
And he's done a couple of them, but I'd like to see him lead a mystery series as the lead detective.
Me too.
Especially in like a football series.
Yeah, I think there's something about a football series. Hallmark should be looking at that. I've been pitching, by the way, like a mystery wheel. So I pitched 2. One was called The Love Bureau. The other one was called, but it was too quirky and dark, called Eulogist Mysteries. So I do pitch and I'm always looking at that mystery wheel format, but I got to say, like, Americans like sports. They like football.
And the comment section on the Hallmark page on Instagram, when they saw that there was going to be a football Christmas movie, it was crazy. So it's definitely out there that people want this to happen.
Good to know. I might pick your guys' brains because you know this audience so well. I'll pitch you guys ideas.
Yeah,
tell me to go.
Well, I want to ask you something.
Sure.
Who are some stars that you would like to see us have on this show? Who do you think would be the best interview for us to get for the most entertaining interview?
As I mentioned, Kevin's pretty funny. Like I think Kevin would be top of the list for the guys, I think. Yeah, I think if there's a way of getting him on board would be fantastic. I mean, obviously Nikki DeLoach would be amazing.
I'm close.
Are you?
I'm close. So, with her writing thing,
Yeah,
I was
her
supposed to have her
schedule
on
is
Thursday,
tight. Yeah,
but I've talked to her people, and
Yep.
she wants to do it. We're gonna try closer to when the writing's done with, so we can try and sneak an interview in right
Yep.
before our holiday story. I'm trying,
Yep.
but we'll just have to see. I would of course love to get. Well, I almost got Allison. I almost got Allie, but since she couldn't do it because I think she's shooting something. That's how I got Barbara, because she offered.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, that's sweet,
Mhm.
but I would absolutely love.
You know, someone who's Taylor Cole's schedule seems, at least I got a sense from her, like she just loves jumping in, doing a movie, and then focusing on family and just having a good time. So she's not someone who she doesn't like write her own stuff, and she doesn't produce yet, or direct, which I think is something that I could see Allison Sweeney ultimately doing. So Taylor's schedule probably is more open. Possibly, I think, just with the way that she doesn't want to, like, it's hard. Like, some people are just workaholics, and Allison's a workaholic, Nikki's a workaholic, but Taylor could be more laid back as far as her schedule goes with her project. Anyway, just a suggestion.
Yeah,
they're all awesome, and yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But that's it from me. Is there anything else from Kirsten that you would like to ask me about? Literally anything.
I feel like we touched base on like almost everything. Now I'm just like ready to watch the movies and then come up with more questions after seeing them.
Oh yeah, hey, totally. Especially, I can't wait for you guys to see Scouting for Christmas, because again, I just love the style of that one. Yeah,
we will definitely have that one on this podcast. We have to talk about it. I mean, that is going to be one that we're anticipating.
Yeah, it has a lot more conflict than what I'm used to, and by the way, that just kind of evolved the fact that she has a nemesis, because we usually don't have that as much in these Hallmark movies. So to have someone who I can kind of call almost like a Hallmark villain, is just a little different. So it's she's just fantastic. This again, like this mom that runs the Girl Scouts. She's such a piece of work. Like, everyone's gonna be talking about her.
This version of the Jolly Johnsons. That's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, the Holly, like
that
type of.
With those Jolly Johnsons, they were the most annoying, despicable people I've ever met in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see her. If she can top them, God bless her. Oh, they are great.
Well, it's coming up soon, 8 days. So let me know what you guys think.
Yes. And as always, guys, we can't wait to have you on our next podcast, which is hopefully soon. We'll see when your next film comes out. I'll probably be the first one to know, because I keep on just checking and looking who directs what, and I'm like, it's Jason. I got to get Jason.
Thank you. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, take it easy. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Yes. And as always, guys, like and subscribe for more. See you on the next podcast. Thursday, we have Carly, Max McGuire, and Cindy Busby coming on the podcast to talk about their brand new Christmas film, Unwrapping Christmas. Along the way, I got a couple more things planned. Not going to reveal anything, but I got some things in the pipeline that are very exciting. But as always, like and subscribe, and keep your heart full of Hallmark.